my hometown, Detroit. Actually, this didn't even happen in Detroit, but they wanted to make it seem like it was Detroit. But we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna break down the details. Winter Smith. So the other day, I am laying in the bed and I got that alert. You know how you get that alert on your phone or whatever like that. I got that alert, right? And it said 2-year old missing, whatever, so on and so forth. For most of us, just ignore that alert because, it's just annoying. Some of us read it, a lot of us ignore it. Um, but Rita was like, yo, did you see that alert about this 2-year old that's missing? And it was like a big deal. I don't know whether or not it got any national attention or anything like that, but it was a big deal here in Michigan, right? And so it was a 2-year-old girl that was missing, okay? And it went on for days, and there was a manhunt and all of this other type of stuff. A little black girl, right? And so recently, they found her. They found her. And I almost didn't do this story today because it's one thing for us to take into consideration, these people that's a part of the alphabet community that happened in Philly, black kids and teens and stuff standing on cars over there in Chicago and what's happening over there on the South Side, right? What happened down there in Fort Worth, Texas, Arkansas, New York, LA, it's happening all over, right? But when it comes to the babies, it's something that just tugs at your heart. But it's some details that's a part of this. This is one of the reasons why I want to bring this to the front of the congregation. There's some details that's a part of this news story that I think is very, very important, and for us to show you why it's important for us to make adjustments within our culture, right? Because the easy story would be, oh, okay, well, it shouldn't have happened. Hold them accountable. I can't believe what happened to our babies, right? But there's some other underlying issues that we don't want to address and we don't want to have the conversation about that I believe that we need to bring to the front of the congregation. So without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and share some of the stuff that's going on. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is the greatest show on earth, bar none. Make sure y'all get the likes up there a little low.
And Dave, I imagine there was a very large crowd because so many people have been just touched by this situation.
Yeah, no doubt about that. From social media, people seeing news broadcasts of this all, not just across Michigan, but really around the country. So many people hoping that this was not the result. And while the FBI works on this case at the field office here in downtown Detroit, community members all across Detroit and beyond, they're trying to sort through their emotions. And tonight was one where they just let out all their pain.
This is not us. This is not us. This is not black people. This is not Detroit.
Raw grief and outrage on Detroit's East Side as community groups come together for an emotional vigil honoring little Wynter Cole Smith of Lansing.
So let me stop there for a second because I'm going to play this, but I want to break some stuff down, okay? This happened in Lansing, all right? Lansing is far from Detroit. However, her body just so happened to be found in Detroit. I want to add some details because a lot of people has never been to Michigan and they think a certain type of way, but this happened in Lansing, but he's going to break that down, all right? The second thing that I want to have a conversation about is a lot of people say this is not the culture, right? And we like to do a lot of protesting and we like to do a lot of coming together and making a lot of noise. But we don't like to actually address the real issues that's happening within our culture and our community, which means that it's going to keep happening because just because you hold a vigil or you hold a protest in which, listen, if it's anybody that deserves a vigil, it's this little girl, this little 2-year-old girl who didn't even have the opportunity to live her life. But the question that we have to ask ourselves is a very uncomfortable one, and I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it today. But let me continue to play this.
The precious 2-year-old's body was discovered in a nearby alley by Irwin Street after an exhaustive 3-day search. Wynter went missing after suspect Rashad Trice waged a violent stabbing attack against her mother.
So now we getting more details. Let me rewind it for you because I want you to see this one more time, okay? Allie, her body, a 2-year-old girl's body found in an alley, driven from Lansing, dumped in Detroit, found in an alley. And I'm going to be very matter of fact about this conversation because you need to really understand the gruesome details that come along with this so that we understand exactly what the culture is promoting right now, okay? And it's some underlying things. Shout out to Self-Made Forever. I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. Some underlying issues. Detroit, Lansing, Michigan, black culture. We all coming to the front of the congregation right now, okay? Okay? Let me rewind this a little bit so you can get some details.
Wynter went missing after suspect Rashad Trice waged a violent stabbing attack against her mother, according to investigators. Law enforcement pinged his cell phone and tracked his drive to Metro Detroit, eventually being led to this spot.
Let me let you know this, and it's a fact. Evil transcends all color lines. You never know when evil may show up. You may be living with evil.
There's been too many of these, Detroit. Yes. I'm sick of seeing it. Black men, I'm sick of seeing it.
I'm gonna fast forward it past this part. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And you'll realize why I'm fast forwarding it past that part. Because A, that didn't happen in Detroit. It didn't happen in Detroit. But there's other factors that go along with this because that wasn't even his daughter. But let's continue.
Balloons, teddy bears, and symbols of love marked the very same spot where just 24 hours before, the FBI joined Detroit police in launching a massive crime scene as the most feared possibility came true. A family's desperate cling to hope crashing down into stunning sadness. Wynter's aunt told the crowd how much the outpouring of love means to them.
And on behalf of the family of Wynter Cole Smith, we would like to thank every one of you, each and every one of you, every friend, every family member, every organization, everyone that's standing here today. We'd like to thank you. We're so grateful for all of your support. We're so grateful for all of your love, your condolences.
That's why my heart is filled with praise.
There were songs of praise and then a release of balloons into the heavens as so many still ponder the big question, why?
They killing women, because they don't want to be with you. I mean, they doing things like this, killing the babies just to torture the mother. When does it end?
This is supposed to be a vigil for the little girl. This is supposed to be a vigil for the 2-year-old. But we will never, ever forego an opportunity to place this blame on men solely. We will never, ever find it don't matter if it's the culture. It don't matter about the details of the mother. It don't matter who it is that she chose. But let me continue to play it, and then we gonna mine this out shortly.
That is certainly the question indeed. Now, we do know that Wynter's immediate family will be down in that very same spot tomorrow night holding a vigil. And Pastor Mo's group and many others, they say they're going to be right there tomorrow night. They say you simply cannot show enough love to this family. And that's exactly what they intend to do, to keep that love, that outpouring going. Live in downtown Detroit, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
Well, and hopefully, in coming days, we are going to learn more charges against the suspect who won't bring this baby back, but certainly bring some justice for this family. But we know he was a known violent offender that was on probation at the time of this alleged crime. We hear family and other people out there saying more needs to be done to keep these violent offenders behind bars longer so they can't go back out and commit these sort of crimes.
Wait. I thought that y'all wanted to have these people released. I thought that every other corner and every other Instagram post and every other rap song we saying free Ray Ray. I thought we wanted to free the people. I thought that one of the things that Jay-Z has donated his money, because a lot of y'all like to reference these rappers, I thought that one of the things that we was advocating for is to release more people, because y'all are locking up people for too long. But now we want to have conversations about more things need to be done about violent offenders, when one of the things that Jay-Z specifically and Beyonce put up their money for was to have more of these people released. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. Let me share with you another video really quickly that gives you even more details about the man and her father, her real father. Let me share this with y'all because it's a whole story that needs to be told here. Not a half one, but a whole one.
But he was hoping for this kind of an outcome. But about 24 hours ago, this is where the discovery was made of Wynter's body in this alley here. But as you can see, there is a memorial. And I'll tell you, when I was here this morning, there was nothing. And now you can see even the Detroit Police Department, they showed up and put a balloon and a stuffed bear on that memorial. And there's going to be a vigil later on. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But it was a very sad day. It was a day for mourning. People finding out that little Wynter Smith, just 2 years old, was found dead. Not the result that anybody wanted. And yes, I did have a chance to talk to the family. It's heartbreaking, but take a look.
Why me? Like,
This is the birth father. Before we even hear anything, I want you to listen. I feel for the family's pain, but we need to have some uncomfortable conversations here today. I know that y'all don't necessarily agree with me. I know that y'all gonna say that Anton is not doing the thing that we want him to do in order to make us feel better about the situation. But let me help you to see, let me help you to understand something, and let me help you to see something. I'm not here to make you feel good about it. I'm here to get to the root cause of the issue. This is the original baby father.
wow.
A.J. Smith, the father of 2-year-old Wynter Cole Smith.
I'm angry that she's gone. I'm angry she had to deal with that. I'm sad I didn't get to see her. I'm sad I don't get to be with her. I'm sad I wasn't here for her.
So many emotions for this 24-year-old senior at the University of Tennessee Martin, a receiver for the football team and trying to further himself to have made a better life for himself and Wynter.
My son, he worked so hard to go to college to play football so he could live a dream for him and Wynter.
I used to keep some stuff and then tell her mom like I lost it, like I forgot to pack it. And I'm glad I did so I can hold on to it.
The little memories are so big now that 2-year-old Wynter was found by FBI agents Wednesday night in the alley on Detroit's East Side after a 3-day search that spanned over 90 miles from Lansing to St. Clair Shores. You've got flyers, bring Wynter home. When you look at him now, what goes through your mind?
It hurts.
How could somebody harm a little child? Like how could you see yourself like on top of a child or hurting a child or whatever he did to her? We don't know, but he killed her and we don't know how he did it. But how can you like just fight a kid? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of this just doesn't feel real. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously, the father, A.J., very broken up, just talking, and he's got a lot to think about. But people want to know what happened to Wynter. We may never know that. Now, there is a suspect in custody. This is the same suspect that was arraigned yesterday for allegedly stabbing and sexually assaulting the mother. Although we talked to the prosecutor's office today, no new charges relating to the kidnapping and ultimate murder. That could come later on. We are here tonight because there's going to be a vigil right pretty much where I'm standing. You can already see residents here and people from across the area coming here to pay their respects to a little 2-year-old named Wynter, who inspires people just to be good and just think about what happened. And again, we may never know the true story, but it's very sad. I have to say, Roop covered a lot of stories here, and it's very emotional.
I want to share something with y'all really quickly. Really quickly. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and then I want you guys to tell me what you think. All right? I'm going to share my screen with you, and then I want you to tell me what you think. Give me a second. Let me blow this up. Here comes an uncomfortable conversation that y'all don't want to have. I get it. So, the suspect had multiple run-ins with police agencies in recent years. Okay? Let's continue. The man accused of abducting a 2-year-old girl found dead Wednesday on Detroit's Eastside, which St. Clair Shore is not Detroit. It is a suburb outside of Detroit, but we're going to continue. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Here comes the uncomfortable conversation. After allegedly sexually assaulting her mother, has a violent criminal past that includes domestic violence, assault, and resisting and obstructing police in at least 5 Michigan counties. Detroiter Rashad, 26, now faces multiple charges in a 6th county, Macomb, for allegedly fleeing and eluding police in St. Clair Shores, slamming into a police cruiser and attempting to disarm an East Point police officer when he was arrested hours after. Lansing police said he snatched the daughter of an ex-girlfriend. She wasn't with the child's father. And then she decided to get into a relationship at some point with Rashad. The abduction late Sunday triggered a middle-of-the-night Amber Alert. We know about that. Trice is a habitual offender and had run-ins with police in Clinton, Ingham, Livingston, Monroe, and Wayne counties, and incidents that range from driving violations to felonious assault to assaulting police officers with a motor vehicle, according to court records. This is him. This is the woman, or this is the man that our women are choosing to have in their children's lives and rock out with them. This is the face of a monster, and then ultimately the man that our women are choosing to be in relationships with. Oh, Anton, you shouldn't be saying that. Do we want to get to the root cause of the problem? When Anton said everybody shouldn't be having children, everybody not prepared for it, you can't afford it, you picking the wrong people, too many people are coming together, so now we got to have an uncomfortable conversation about the Amber Alert that we received late in the middle of the night because nobody wants to get to the root issue of the cause. No, we just going to blame it on men. We going to blame it on men, right? Okay, let's continue. Court records show he was first sentenced to 224 days in jail for domestic violence and had attempted resisting, assaulting, and obstructing a police officer. May 23rd, 2021, a week later, arrested for obstructing police in Clinton County. He was sentenced to attempted assaulting, resisting, and obstructing police, was given a year in jail for that offense. 2021, August, charged again with assault, obstructing Michigan State Police. After the incident in Handy Township near Fowlerville, pled guilty and admitted in court records that he fled police officers in a motor vehicle, assaulted 2 police officers with a motor vehicle, resisted, obstructed 2 police officers, operated a motor vehicle without a license in Livingston County. 2 years probation is what he got. Shout out to all of the people that advocated for keeping all of our criminals free. Felonious assault, assaulting, resisting, obstructing the police, 6 counts. Arrested less than 3 months later by Lansing police for fleeing police misdemeanor assault. Court records show sentenced to 93 days in jail. That's it. Ingham County, physically assaulting ex-girlfriend in her Lansing apartment before stealing her car and kidnapping her toddler. Investigation is ongoing. He was on probation through 2024. Violated probation. This is unfortunate. This is very much unfortunate. Long list of issues as a motorist over the years. We're not even going to go into all of that, right? Here's my question as we go through this, right? As we had this conversation. We're going to leave him up for a minute. Here's my question. A, how is this my fault? How is this my fault? As a person that is a law-abiding citizen, has never had children out of wedlock, gives you information on a regular basis on how you can improve yourself as a tax-paying citizen and pour into my community, how is this men's fault? How is this black men's fault? Why do women continue to get in relationships with men that they're not prepared to marry, don't want to marry before they carry, and then now we have to have a conversation, an uncomfortable conversation, because we're embracing parts of the culture that's not best for us. When I said y'all need to close y'all legs, nobody wanted to have a conversation. They said, don't police our pussy. When I said have a level of dick discipline, they said, shut the fuck up, you're not the dick police. When I said we need to divest ourselves from the culture and stop having children out of wedlock, they said, Anton, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You already aged out. You've been married for too long. When I said that the things that we embrace the most and that women are choosing wrong, they said that, no, Anton. Now look at it. Now look at what we are. We're in a situation where all of our worst nightmares, where I don't know anybody, not one person in the chat, wants to see this happen and is saying that the little girl is the one that should have paid the price for all of the egregious decisions that we're embracing and we're championing and we're highlighting within the culture. And you know what the end result is going to be? Let me tell you what the end result is going to be. It's our fault. It's the men's fault. It's always going to come back down to you. You want to know the truth? You want to know the real truth? That might be a little bit too uncomfortable. Do you want to know the real truth? The God's honest truth? This young man right here.
But he was hoping.
They don't want me to say this part, but I'm going to say it. This young man right here. Right here. Never should have been having children in the first place. That's the God's honest truth. The mother who we're going to have a level of respect for and we're going to hide her privacy in order to ensure that, she can grieve, never should have been in a relationship and having children with men that she's not supposed to be with in the first place. She never should have ever been talking to ex-offenders in the first place. You can't have children and then say, I want to figure out how it is that I want to better myself in order to put my children in the best position possible. Unfortunately, every last one of these people that's a part of this story should have never even been in a position to have children in the first place. I don't want to hear about protecting the child. The child should have never been in the position to have to suffer at the hands of the parents that made the worst decisions in the first place. That's the uncomfortable conversation that nobody wants to have because it is not PC enough for us to tell the absolute positive truth. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Everybody want to have sex, but nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation about what happens when you have sex. You know what it says? You know what the word of God says? It's the children that pays for the transgression of their parents. Every single person, every person is responsible for what is happening right now in the fallout. Every single person that participated. The criminal, the biological father, because he never should have been with that chick in the first place, and then the mother for who it is that she chose to have children with. That's the uncomfortable truth. And it's unfortunate because this little girl right now is the only person that pays the price for it. It's similar to what happened in Chicago. It's similar to what happened in Chicago. The 14-year-old boy is the real victim. The 2-year-old girl is the real victim. All of these people are the ones that they get to mourn. They get to mourn. Everybody get to listen. We all come together. Let me show you what we do. Let me show you what black people do. This is what black people do right here.
And Dave, I imagine there was
This is not us. This is not black people. This is not Detroit.
Raw grief and outrage on Detroit's East Side as community groups come together.
I don't want to see nothing from your community groups. I don't want to see no more balloons. I don't want to see no teddy bears on light poles. I don't want to see y'all releasing nothing into the air. I don't want to see y'all having no protest talk talking about what's her name. I don't want to see you niggas on the street no more. Until we really start addressing the issue and the problems that's happening, plaguing in the communities, getting to the root cause of the issue, I don't want to see nobody with a Moorish hat on. I don't want to see no Hebrew Israelites running around with a bullhorn. I don't want to see nobody pitching no new plans. I don't want to see nothing. I want to see y'all celibate, shutting the fuck up, fixing yourselves, fixing your lives, fixing y'all communities and the environments that y'all then bringing these children into. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I should have been politically correct. It's okay. It's all right. I should have been politically correct. Let's continue. Let's continue. Rest in peace to Wynter. I hope that her family gets a level of somehow, some way gets peace. But I'm not going to y'all marches. I'm not going to nobody else's marches. Straight up. Straight up. She the only person that had to pay the price for this shit that we seeing happening right here. The only person that had to pay the price for it.